So guys, the Pro Bowl is there, and I was trying to think of a good video to do. Like, I was thinking about, okay, I could go on Madden, I could simulate it, I could act like that's something that's entertaining, but I was like, yo, I kind of want to just look online and look at some cool articles. So I came across one by Patrick A. Smith from last year, which is the 15 worst Pro Bowlers in NFL history. Now, to me, I like doing lists like this in the videos. If you guys like this, make sure to let me know by dropping a like. I want to get more creative. I want to start looking at more stuff like this, whereas I'm not just a Madden channel. I just do a bunch of different things that are kind of interesting, and I have not looked at this article yet, and I'm excited to read all the little aspects of it, give my takes on all the players, and then as we go, we'll talk about the Pro Bowl as well. But you guys got to comment hashtag AFC or hashtag NFC in the comment section below. That would be awesome. I'm curious who you guys think is going to win this thing. To me, I'm on Team AFC. I'm a Titans fan. Got to go with the AFC. Can't go wrong with Big Ben. But let's go start off this article and read all I see right off the bat. I see you, Vince Young. You're not hiding. You're not hiding. I had a little Vince Young when I was young. I had this little mesh Vince Young jersey. It was like the tiniest little thing, and it was just made of mesh, and it was just absolutely glorious. And I wore it all the time. That was when I was like, how young would I have been there? Vince Young was drafted in what, 2007 or 2008? So I would have been like 10 years old, maybe 8 or 9. I wasn't that young, but I was young enough where it was just like, it was a tiny jersey is what I'm trying to say. Okay, let's start with number 15 here. Matt Cassel. You're going to put him on the Titans. Matt Cassel hung around the league so long based on the merits of 1 or 2 seasons. It's not just the safest strategies in the books, but it doesn't seem to be working. Every 6 years or so, Cassel will have a quality season filling in for a regular start, and it will prolong his career even further when it should have been finished a decade ago. So true. So incredibly true. I feel like he just keeps... Oh, I even see the next one. I remember these dudes. Like, this is some OG stuff here. I done this with the Patriots and the Chiefs. They stuck out the Bills, Cowboys to show distinctively. Okay. Braylon Edwards. Yo, Braylon Edwards was the dude a long time ago with the Browns. I remember playing Madden with the Browns, like, oh, I don't even know how many years ago that would have been. And, like, Braylon Edwards was the guy. He was, like, the main man on campus. Like, everyone knew Braylon Edwards. He was, like, the face of that franchise. Curious to see what happens. Pretty much the definition of a one-hit wonder in the NFL. Edwards was seen by the Browns as the next elite receiver after the league. In the league after the 2007 season. After that, he never came close to matching his statistical totals from the year before. It was still good enough for a Pro Bowl appearance, however, and being considered one of the ball hallmark if players of the Y2K era. Edwards had at least one good season, but it's different to call it anything but a fluke. And as a result of his career, although, yeah, he was never really talked about before. Nick Foles, really, this is before Nick Foles had a completely unstable season with the Eagles in 2013, which saw him throw 27 TD passes with only 2 interceptions. I remember this year. I'm sure you guys do too. I think you guys are all the age where you would have known 2 years ago, where he just absolutely went off. It was because he threw 27 TDs. He had that glove on. He was just throwing darts. That was right after like the Michael Vick era kind of ended, and Nick Foles kind of came in and was like being the guy. I could definitely see him being. I think now it'll be changed after he's kind of won a game. He's kind of proven his legacy again. I could definitely see that's why one of the worst Pro Bowls ever, because it feels like he was just kind of a one-hit wonder. Where are these pictures, man? Does anyone have no pictures here? I gotta refresh the screen. We gotta get some pictures in this video. You can't, it's not a video if we don't have pictures of the player. You guys gotta see the exact people I am talking about. So let's wait. As soon as it loads back up, I'll be back. Okay, we got pictures back. It's just a crucial part of the video for me. I don't know why, I just enjoy the pictures. So here we got Nick Foles. There you can see him with the Chiefs. When was he? I guess, yeah. Marion Barber. This guy? Oh, I'm trying to even think of it. He was a running back. Like, he's a very, very faint career. Barber was a rusher and was very good. It was a glorified one-lane runner for most of his career. Had several of the seasons where he racked a considerable amount of rushing touchdowns. Yeah, he was a power back, I believe. He never rushed for 1,000 yards. It's really hard to read while you're on camera. Like, I'd never recommend opening a book and then turning on your camera and reading it, because you're probably going to embarrass yourself like I am right now. It's really quite difficult. I'm just warning you guys, it's not the easiest thing. He never rushed for 1,000 yards in a season. The league gets it right when running backs most of the time, but Barber. Okay, Derek Anderson was a Pro Bowler. Dang, what year was that guy a Pro Bowler? Current backup for the Panthers. There was a time when Anderson was considered a quality starter in the pro ranks, though it's a half century at this point. Back to the 7, Anderson was his own with the Browns. Who else? And fooled everyone to think he could be a successful QB over a long term in the NFL. He wasn't. From 2008 onward, Anderson was a nomination that he received and deserved one of the worst positions to ever make. When Anderson is an example of how NFL can quickly drag any player back down to earth after a small. That's like honestly one of the things I love most about like football and baseball and stuff. Like at the quarterback position, you can fake it for a year, but you can't fake a career. I like the people who call Tom Brady overrated or trash. I really question you guys. I don't like Tom Brady. Like I said, he's an AFC. They beat the Titans. They crushed the Titans. I froze. Me and my girlfriend sat there freezing. Well, he just sent my team home. And I still have a ton of respect for that dude. Like 100%. So I have nothing against him whatsoever. Chad Lewis. Well, a solid tight end in his day and a member of one of the best teams. I don't know much about this guy. Okay. And see, I don't know if I agree with that. I don't know if I agree with calling him one of the worst Pro Bowlers in history. I think that like Andy Dalton is not the greatest player in the world. Let's just say it. I'll call a spade a spade. He's not the greatest player in the world. Does he deserve to be called this? I don't believe so. I think this is a little bit ridiculous. I think he has had some pretty good moments. He's thrown for a lot of yards and stuff. There's no way he should have been able to sniff the Pro Bowl yet found himself there. What year was that though? Because I'm thinking like there might have been one year where he like was able to squeak in. Besides being completely ineffective in any kind of big game, he's always had a wealth of talent around him and just can never produce at any level. But that's a pretty good way to sum up Dalton. Just like a bunch of talent, just never able to like get to Mercedes Lewis. Oh my gosh. Yeah, let's talk about mediocre talent. Mercedes Lewis was like the original like 86 overall athletic tight end on Madden. Like he was the Jaguars' best player, like the best trade. I remember when I used to play Madden, like competitively, I took the Jags and I won a Super Bowl with the Jags. I was still remembered in a couple of like leagues for being the guy who won the Pro League, and I got $100. Super excited to get that $100. That's like you never will forget the first money you make playing video games. Mercedes Lewis was like the man. He must have made it, but yeah, he really fell off. But it's Lewis has made a Pro Bowl, but it's his career. Yeah, it's not even close. Trent Dilfer. Okay, always one of the choices of the short list of the quarterbacks to ever win a Super Bowl. Dilfer was one of the worst players to ever make a Pro Bowl. He really was inept as an NFL QB and only became an elite Baltimore Ravens defense after 2000. I don't know much about him. I'm just curious about these. Marcellus Wiley. I don't know much about you, Marcellus. I think you're no lineman. After any praise of Wiley's career gets upon the strength of the seasons of a total of 10. Okay, Elvis Gryback. This dude, was this the guy? I don't think it was. Was this the guy who played with the Chiefs? Oh, I don't know. Is one of the worst players to ever play, and the only reason why he isn't higher is simply because in an extremely short window of success, his career was decidedly mediocre and was never really gained enough for others to stand out. But his Pro Bowl selection, okay. Steven Alexander. No idea who you are, Steven. That's how you know these guys shouldn't have made a Pro Bowl. I don't even know who they are. And usually in the last like 10 to 15 years, anyone who makes a Pro Bowl, I should know. That's a tight end. Okay. Cordell Stewart. Oh my gosh. No, this dude made the Pro Bowl. Who is this? For quite some time, Stewart was overrated by many fans who believed his elite running ability as a QB made him a lot better than he actually was. Instead, his mediocre pocket skills and erratic arm were put on display soon enough. Stewart was on the brink of winning a title with the Steelers, but that was much to the quality of talent around him. Then there were the skills of Citadel. He did make the Pro Bowl, but he'll always remember as the ultra-light version of Michael Vick, and that's definitely not high praise. Okay, these are interesting because we're learning about players, and I actually really like that aspect of these type of videos. I learned about players I maybe didn't know about before. Jeremy Azuma. Azuma had a couple of good seasons with the Bears. Oh man, I see number one. I see you, Vince Young. Oh my gosh. Okay. Not a fan. Azuma had a couple good seasons with the Bears, but for the rest of his career, he was largely burnt toast at the cornerback position. Another example, Azuma could barely in the field when he had against all odds of quality season when he was named a starter compared to this Vince Young. Gotta read. Coming out of Texas, Young was considered to be the quarterback prospect of a generation. Seemingly a hybrid of Randall Cunningham and Peyton Manning, Young was predicted to have an elite skill set. When the Titans selected him in 2006, he was in one Pro Bowl, correct? I want to talk about, I just want to talk about him for a minute. Vince Young, to me, I'm never going to have, I've seen A Football Life with him in it. If he's in the one with the Rose Bowl where they talk about it, I have nothing against Vince Young. I think it just didn't work out. He had a great college career. It just didn't work out, and he regrets it, obviously, but, it's tough, man. That transition's tough. I don't think he was really necessarily a bad person. I think his coach was Jeff Fisher, and they were trying to run a new style offense with Jeff Fisher. You guys saw what happened. The Titans made the playoffs. The Rams made the playoffs here. Both of them, the one thing they had in common is Jeff Fisher wasn't coaching them. I never was a big fan of him. I'm glad he was gone. So that is our list of these guys. Let's see, is there anything else we can find here? I'm going to go look for one more article to see if there's anything else we can look at the worst Pro Bowlers. This is just Reddit. Never know what to expect on Reddit. I'll censor anything that is inappropriate, but Reddit is just the opinions of people like you and me. So sometimes it's good. David Garrard, 2009, he threw for 15 touchdown passes in 16 games on a 7-9 team. Yeah, actually, that kind of makes sense. Yes, the year had Garrard, Schaub, and Vince Young because the three guys actually opted out of playing Manning Rivers. That, honestly, that is the worst. Garrard, Schaub, and Vince Young. I think that's the worst trio ever. I'm glad we went here. I was going to say Cassel, but I think Garrard has him beat. Jeff Saturday in his Green Bay year. Saturday's a great player, but he had a better. It seems difficult to me. Stafford played in one Super Bowl MVP, I recall. However, he played Stafford. I'm seeing Stafford. Dalton, yep, same kind of things. I think that list was really, really well done. These people are kind of saying it's 2 years ago, so we don't really know from like the last couple of years. What do we got here? Who's next? Who do people think next? Thomas DeCloud, Matt Cassel. Everyone's saying Vince Young. That obviously was a really, really good list. You guys know how this works, though. I play one game of Fortnite at the end of these videos, so let's go play some Fortnite. And like make sure to comment AFC or NFC.